Hello, folks, and welcome back to That Time We Woke Up in a Podcast and had to explain manga, our heated adventures, overanalyzing manga that we find interesting. My name is Sam, and join us this week as I once again subject my friends to my personal hyperfixation. We are returning once again to Kill 6 Billion Demons by Tom Parkinson-Morgan, also known as Abbadon. We read the rest of Book 3, Seeker of Thrones. So sharpen your blades, mantle your transcendent cores, and enjoy the show. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Over Manga Cast. My name is Sam, and as always, I'm taking my vengeance out by making them do what I want, because how dare you read FMA without me, you bastards!
Haha, I'm okay with this.
Wait, where's Jay?
Jay hasn't been on since episode 1.
This isn't how equivalent exchange works. Damn it. Anyway, every time here at the top of the episode, we talk about our familiarity with what we read this week. I'm actually not current with K6BD, but I am partway through book 6, which I know is the ongoing one as of this recording. So I'm basically caught up. Matt, how about you?
I follow Abbadon on Twitter, but otherwise have not read anything since we last did Kill 6 Billion Demons.
Excellent. And you, Jacob?
My equivalent of reading more of K6BD is going back to the stuff that we already read so that I can read the liturgy and find all of the Easter eggs. Because our show is not conducive for certain elements of this webcomic.
Indeed, it is not, which is a crying shame. But that is what we're here for. So we open up with where we left off last time, which is getting the crew together for the heist. And that means it's time for a song. We have your boy Oscar singing an old devil's drinking song as he collects the crew members, all of whom have names and unique character designs, most of which do not... The names don't come up much.
Some of them die immediately.
Yes, as is the want of this comic. I just gotta say, naturally, my favorite is the Cat Master. Master of Cats.
He does have a sweet cat.
He's got a sweet cat and a bomber jacket.
That's pretty dope.
Sword, cool mask, bomber jacket, cat. This is just me if I was a devil.
You weren't a devil?
I mean, that you know of.
Anyway.
Anyway, as the song wraps up, the crew is assembled. A bunch of devils, the 5 wickedest bastards around, as Oscar puts it, and a 6th, Felicia. Lucky Felicia. She's here to open the door.
She is a human cat girl.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure the cat ears are just part of her hood.
I'm pretty sure they are as well. She's got an eye patch. That's a little heart. It's cute. But yes, she's very important. She's here to open the door. Which door? The door.
You'll know it when you see it.
Mm-hmm. So they all take the oath. Let all the vile and separating venoms of the night spit in the eye of God and bind her to our evil. Our will is sealed.
Aye.
Yeah. And with the crew assembled, it's time to get into the vault. We are going to attack we're going to get into Yuri. Or
We're getting
into Yuri, all right.
We're getting into the infinite Yuri vault.
Yes. Mammon is truly a being of culture.
We do get his backstory as well.
Yes. Mammon was once a part of a species called the Kind People. Naturally servile race. He was extremely ambitious, and all of his family were like, dude, that's cringe. Why would you be ambitious? So he killed all of them and took their money.
As you do.
And he got more and more and more money until all that mattered was counting the money. Keeping a very tight ledger. Which one of the crew members, a weird lizard man wearing a sick-ass cloak made of coins named Charon, thinks is pretty cool. I love this guy's design. He's got a sick-ass hood made of coins.
I like the teeth, the little fangs.
He got little fangies.
But he's the one who will lead them on the first leg of their journey.
Yes, moving through a secret underground passage. entering the Vault of Ure, and from here on out, it's a it's a D&D dungeon.
Very D&D, because the first room is all just mimics.
Literally nothing but mimics. It's a otherwise empty room. They're like, huh, didn't we go through here the last time Yabokalath did a heist this way? We should have cleared this out. Where'd all this detritus come from? Oh god! It's trying to eat my eyes! And I love this fight. It's very cool, and also it's got Oscar being very helpful with just kind of sticking his head out, seeing the chaos, and then going back into the tunnel like, nope. Leaving me.
That tracks for him.
The first hints of what's going to be Allison's arc throughout this heist, as she bisects an entire desk mimic, saving CO in the process, but being coated in blood, a tomb flaring, and Incubus over her shoulder like, yes.
And red eyes.
The red eyes, seeing only blood. There must be greater and greater violence.
We do get a bit of a plot cul-de-sac of the ship almost getting hijacked. That pops up a couple of times. Basically, it's yes, Angel Guy is still here.
Yeah, White Shane and Naive are still here. Naive? Naive? I forget how to pronounce her name. But they are, in fact, still here. And they are having tea and character-relevant arguing, where White Chain is still trying to prove to themselves that they don't care about the world and the people in it, caring only about the law. And I, unlike you fragile humans, I would never be tarnished by something as foolish as dreams. Are you saying that, or did you simply give up on yours? Please don't kill me. You are still extremely powerful.
Yeah, it's nothing we haven't seen before from White Chains.
I really like this next bit as we cut back to the vault, where one of the devil members of the party, Suze, S-U-U-Z, Suze.
Scissor character.
Yes. Using wires and triangle jumping is creating a path where they won't have to walk amongst the mimics. And we see an entire row of chairs that are all mimics.
It's all a mimic.
Every last goddamn one of them.
Could you imagine going to an entire motel an entire inn in the woods, and it turns out the whole thing is just a mimic?
I mean, if that did happen, I can guarantee you, the people who went inside would be very upset, and not just like in character upset. They'd also be out of character upset.
It's fine. Nobody died.
I got a cool magic weapon out of it. I was fine. But Allison is the last one across, and here we have our first bit of treachery, because what did you think was going to happen? They're devils, as Allison is the last one shuffling across the treacherous pit of mimics. Suze goes and cuts the wire. Unfortunately, Allison has the Key of Kings and can just teleport. So using the teleportation, appears on the safe platform and and shoves Suze off into the pit, where they are swiftly devoured. It is extremely grisly.
And Allison reacts exactly the way you would expect.
Yes, a single panel of intense bloodlust and yes, revenge feels good, followed swiftly by remorse, and CO is not at all helpful. Well, you definitely killed her.
Good job.
Good job.
That's everybody else's opinion on the matter.
Mm-hmm. As they all start walking. Wait. She just tried to kill me, and then I killed her. Are we not this? I mean, it was a little early.
I love that.
One less share to worry about. We devils have one rule, me lovely. Do as thou wilt.
Seemed like a terrible lot to make deals with.
But I hired you. No, you didn't. They came because they wanted to. And I talked to the Devil King to make sure that they were allowed to. So, yeah, stop thinking in terms of like honor and allies and companionship, because that's not real for devils.
It's not even really a transaction.
Yep.
They're all here because going into the vault means they get some of the loot that's there. They don't care about the actual MacGuffin.
Mm-hmm.
And
They
the
don't care.
reminder, the MacGuffin is Allison's boyfriend.
They don't care about Allison's mission. Why would they? They're here for money. I love this from CO. She's pointing out, like, you seriously forgot that you're dealing with creatures of pure avarice. We have nothing else in our hearts, not comrades, family, or friends, which you reminded me about. Thank you. Poor Allison looks so heartbroken, and Oscar, unhelpful as ever, walks up to Allison and goes, "You'd make a pretty good devil."
Thanks.
Aw.
I know CO is being like super cold here, but she's also like 3 feet tall, so it kind of hard to take her seriously, even when she's being dramatic.
She does have that cool jumpsuit, though.
Is it a jumpsuit? It might be. I don't know.
It's a cat suit, technically, I think, because she's
Yeah,
robbing a vault or whatever.
indeed.
But with that, they arrive at the door.
The door. Hey guys, have you seen Berserk?
Vaguely.
I'm so glad I actually read a bit of Berserk and then came back to this because that's just the Behelit on the door.
Yes, yes, it is.
And while Allison is busy having the devil on her shoulder, or the demiurge in this case, with Incubus taunting her, the rest of the team is like, "All right, Felicia, there's the door. Go open it. All right, I'll go pick this lock in a jiffy. It'll be no problem at all. We've got 5 hours. I'll make it 4. That's not the problem. What is the problem? Because the alarm is going to go off in 5 seconds, and now that the door's mouth is open, we have to feed someone to it. Come here!" So yes, they feed Felicia to the door.
I will say the thing I was kind of expecting at some point was because the whole point of this, like this way of dealing with the door is you have to prove that you have no like love or companionship. I was kind of expecting some kind of trap later where it's like you had to like show true camaraderie, and it's like that would act as a double whammy to be impossible to pass through.
Yeah, because if you were heartless enough to sacrifice someone to the door, how are you going to do that? That would be cool. If I was designing this D&D dungeon, I would do that just to fuck with people.
Yeah, the thing is, it's not really about like this whole arc isn't really about the dungeon.
Yeah. It's about what Allison is willing to do to get what she wants. And as she is about to stand up and say, "No, we need to find a different way. I'm not doing human sacrifice." Unfortunately, all of her moral weight is shunted into the battle inside the mind.
She's also just not fast enough to make a comment.
Mm-hmm. As Felicia is thrown into the door's mouth, it gets a very unpleasant a very unpleasant expression on its face.
It's very happy about the sacrifice.
And the door splits open in a grisly fashion to let them into the inner point of the vault. You remember how we said it was infinite? Yeah, this is some MCS shit.
It's another one of those awesome landscapes.
It's like the inside of the Millennium Puzzle in here.
Oh God, no.
I mean, am I wrong?
You're not wrong. That's why I'm worried. At this point, Allison has kind of gone full sociopath, like consistently.
Yeah, she's really gone full supervillain, emphasized by the red eyes being constant now. And the Allison,
Kind of speedrun the dungeon a little bit.
they do, which I appreciate. You know, we get the heavy hitting moments of the traps, you know, the mimic room, the later on we'll have the invisible hallway puzzle, but there's a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, they threw that into the source book to just
Build out your D&D campaign version of this.
exactly. And the entire time Allison is inside the battlefield of her own mind, where it is her and all the other versions of her being
Castigating her for being a failure.
Yes. Meanwhile, Incubus is there in a dapper suit taking phone calls at a desk.
Because he has a business to run.
I love this so much. Allison is like, give me back my body.
What do you
What do
mean? You're right over there.
You're in control. No, I'm not. Then who's that in the control chair? Oh, that's me going full dominatrix. What the
No, that's
Yeah,
a
and
separate character later on, Sam.
but yeah, the element here is that, and a little bit to speed run the whole arc because it goes in and comes out over the course of it. But the real crux here is that this has always been a part of Allison because all of the various pieces of Allison exist in everyone to varying degrees. It's
Mhm.
just, how much control you let each individual piece have. Uh, and when she asked for power, then the version of her that would, wield what she has the most effectively, the sociopath, is the one who, you know, was given control specifically by Incubus.
Yeah, was put in the driver's seat.
It's
He's just
actually it's a good subversion because like he's not puppeteering her. He's making her make bad choices on her own.
yes. And using the whole weird fiction mindscape magic thing to visualize that. I also love how Incubus scene as a secretary Incubus shows up to be like, you gotta call it Mr. J in 30 minutes.
Mr. J.
Yeah, Mr. J. You know, big angry red guy.
Oh,
Oh, I
that
thought
Mr. J.
I thought we were talking about the clown. No. Nah, he's your 5 o'clock.
Whatever. I'll go take care of that.
Thus leaving meek Allison with all of her useless aspects of herself to sit here and ponder how the hell do I get the driver's seat back from me? But yeah, more dungeoneering occurs.
Another named character gets completely slaughtered before they did anything.
Mhm.
Yes, uh they enter the prison of air, a portion of the dungeon that is just a shaft with apparently no visible way from the door you're at to the door very far below you. They shove the devil that looks like he's got a real Geppetto look about him. He's an old man with a pipe and a backpack full of trinkets.
You go do the thing.
You go do the thing. He heads forward and immediately gets sliced into a bunch of pieces by a floor trap.
Yeah, initially he lands on an invisible floor, and then a couple of steps forward, that's when he gets sliced up.
Yep. So, invisible hallway. Hey, didn't that guy have a backpack full of explosives?
I'm sure that won't be a problem.
It won't come up.
Where do the fire bees come from?
He had them in jars, I think.
Oh, so this was entirely his fault.
Yes, it was. He had little lightning bugs.
Uh, this is where Cat Master, the Master of Cats, it comes in clutch.
I love this so much. Because Allison's everyone's like, you know what, this is getting a little hairy. I think we might want to back out. No, we are going forward, and I will kill anyone who says that we're not. At which point Catmaster approaches, looking like it's time for a fight. Produces Cat. And I guess whatever this invisible hallway and its traps are made out of, it is not invisible to the power of Cat.
Cats are magical creatures.
They are.
Yeah, and they basically just, dungeon crawl through the invisible maze.
Led by the power of Cat. Right up until the encounter begins.
The mini bosses,
The priests of the Count.
do they all have names and backstories?
Almost
mean-
certainly.
I mean, probably, but like nothing put on screen. They got unique character models. One dude's really big. He's got an abacus cleaver. That's cool as shit.
That is pretty cool.
I want an abacus cleaver.
Someone has a chainsaw polearm.
It's very 40k.
Why does Denji not have one of those?
I mean, because just like tree trimmers have chainsaw pole arms. That's just a thing you can buy at like a hardware store.
That's a fair point.
Yeah. Denji will eventually figure out a way to do that, but he'll do it by like hip thrusting, so it looks like his cock is that big.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But yeah, sick fight happens. We get some beautiful splash pages. Allison activates the Sandevistan, and it's a bloody slaughter as they rip apart the priests of the Count. Princess, who's been here the whole time, casts off a name and upgrades to Red Devil. I'm not entirely sure how they did that, but here we are.
Uh, they were in mortal peril and refused to let themselves die, so it's basically shonen power boost.
And as they slaughter the priests, the living ones have the counter ticker on their chests dial down, because it's a very literal ladder climb here in Mammon's palace. If the person above you dies, you go up a rank. And I love the I love the page where it's like a bunch of different cutaways of the slaughter, and it's all surrounding the like tesseract of the invisible hallway getting painted in blood. Like the world's most geometric system, circulatory system.
Ugh, I don't like that.
It's exceptional grisly, but I love it. It's so cool. And Allison attains Ultra Instinct by being so violent. I'm not entirely sure why her hair turns white here, but Super
It's
Saiyan
because
logic.
it's because it's symbolic of her choosing that side of herself. Because the Mindscape version of her has white hair too.
Indeed. Sorry.
And one of the bombs goes off, leaving Allison with a choice. Does she help Sio or leave her behind?
Yes. One of the pieces of dynamite ignites. Sio is trapped under the rubble. And Allison just walks away, leaving her friend to die. Brutal.
Mm-hmm. Well, friend.
Her
I don't
associate?
even know you.
We'll get
Her
to that.
traveling companion.
Yes.
History will say they were just friends.
They were shipmates. Wait a minute.
They were shipmates, all right. I saw the comments on that page.
We'll get to that in a bit. Right now, we're about halfway through the reading. I think this is a good place for us to take a quick break. And welcome back to the show, folks. Where last we left our heroes, they engaged in a tremendous slaughter, as happens fairly regularly in comic.
Mm-hmm.
Leaving Allison the only one able to move forward currently.
Indeed. She treks forward, and we have the once a book regular appearance of Zos, ya boy the Conquering King. He appears from the shadows to be like, hey, you ever heard that? You ever heard that old ditty about staring into the abyss and the abyss staring back? Shut the f up, old man. I do what I want.
I do find it interesting that the entire time this is going on, they keep using the classical Greek definition of hero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She's not a hero because she's a force of justice fighting evil. She's a hero because she is doing a great thing.
Mm-hmm. She is doing heroics.
Yep. And Zos is like, another heir that went wrong. Damn it.
I was hoping that it would be different this time.
Oh, well.
Yeah, he sort of just appears behind her and has like a whole thing, and she's just like, shut up, you're not my real dad.
Young lady, you are not going out dressed like that.
You can't tell me what to do.
I'll blow whoever I want. What?
What about this covered in blood and swords? Actually, that's worse.
And here's where we get the culmination of Allison's battle in the mind. No one part of her is enough to resist the control of the power side of her the
Mhm.
the domination side of her,
The part of her that wants to be girl boss, gaslighting and gatekeeping.
all of her together. And it's like she has to embrace that that is a part of herself because she does need this side of herself. She does need to sometimes be ruthless and make tough calls and kill people. This is not going to be a violence-free endeavor. Bad things are going to happen, and she needs to be able to accept that part of herself, not see it as separate.
But how can she
Uh,
be ruthless? Her last name is Ruth.
well, it is symbolized by lesbianism.
As most things in this comic are.
It's the infinite Yuri vault.
White Hat Allison absorbs all the different parts of her to become as big of a kaiju woman as Black Hat Allison, and then they kiss.
You still can't beat me. I don't have to.
Self-love. Kind of.
Quite literally.
Not that way.
Quite literally.
Okay, yes, also that way.
And now
Was she
that
panting from coming out of the water, or was she panting for another reason?
She was wet, all right.
she was very wet because yeah. Now that the id and the ego have fused, Allison still has the white hair of her powered up boss bitch mode, but her regular eyes back as she finds herself in the very center of the great vault of Ure, Yanamon. And holy shit, this is aesthetic. This is some vaporwave right here. It's a field with rolling hills made of gold, cherry blossom trees, though there's a massive window showing an infinite starry horizon, a nice placid little river running through it.
Creating like an infinite geometric effect.
Yeah, it's extremely aesthetic.
And then we get introduced to the best character.
Bureaucrat?
Now, before that,
Okay.
I was gonna say, are you talking about Mammon or are you talking about his
I love Mammon so much.
Mammon's pretty great.
He is such an interesting depiction of greed. Like, such a unique depiction of greed, too. Like, his depiction of greed is, oh god, I'm so annoyed by all this. There's so much to count. Will do I have enough to be satiated? I don't know. I keep adding more and I can't count it all. You know what? Just
Mhm.
kill me. I'm done. I hate life.
You know what? Give it your best shot. You're here to slay the dragon and take the treasure, right? Go ahead, try it. You see all these swords sticking out of me? That's the last people that tried. God, I wish they succeeded.
Something capitalism metaphor, says the
Something,
capitalist, so that the rest of the pod doesn't have to say it.
something senality.
He has gone very senile.
He's doing his best.
Like he's so huge and intimidating, and he goes to like glower at Allison, and then it's like, you've come here to slay me, take my treasure. Apologize for it. I'm sorry? That was not so hard. You made me lose count to so much of the blasted stuff. My favorite is it must have been important to me at some point. I know writers who use subtlety and they're all or who use subtext and they're all cowards. And
So with Mammon being so acquiescing, then maybe we'll be able to get the MacGuffin.
indeed, unfortunately, this is when the Dark Souls references start happening. Because as Mammon is laying down waiting to die, the priests that were following him steps forward and just straight up quotes Crossbreed Priscilla saying that this is a peaceful land, its inhabitants kind. How dare you come here? How dare you defile this place with your blood-soaked ambition and threaten my god? I mean, he's kind of pathetic. I really don't want to anymore, and that is how every last one of us felt. Came here to do the same thing. This is the only reason I'm letting you live. Get out of here.
Yeah, the fact that all of these people just felt so bad, we're just like, oh, poor little sleepy dragon.
I love it.
He is a vaguely dog-like dragon. I kind of love him.
They all came here hoping to be dragon slayers and become way beyond dreams of avarice. Like, oh, he's just a sad old man. Oh, I don't feel good about this. I must atone.
I think there was also a level of they don't want to have to go back out through the vault.
There's that too.
Mammon certainly notes that as a problem.
I can't get out of here. This sucks.
Turns out fortresses and prisons are pretty synonymous with each other.
Where the hell was my count?
5, 8, 7, 6, 7. Is that the digits or the
7,
decimals?
5, 309. Jenny, do you got my number?
Slow, slow, quick, quick, slow.
Unfortunately, while all that's happening, it turns out that Co is distinctly not dead.
Live, dive, the blathersome strumpet!
And Allison tries to have a heart-to-heart, which does not go well, because of course it didn't.
She tries to have a heart-to-heart with the skittering rage monster. She's, desperately apologizing for leaving her behind, sobbing her eyes out, being like, I'm so scared. I'm so sorry. That it was wrong of me to leave you behind. Please, can we just talk this out? Oh God, you're crushing my hand. Please stop. Oh my eyes! Seal claws her face and then yeets her across the crash into a pillar. I don't know what Incubus did to unlock her power, to unlock her potential, but it must have been quite something for her to survive that. Because that's the
Thank you, Key of Kings regeneration, I guess.
Yeah, that this is the most anime damage that she has taken yet.
I love how everyone wants that key in her forehead so bad, but she's literally just a corpse on the floor for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, you killed a human. Well, better get beer money off the floor.
Yep. Because Co, going full Yabakalath mode, goes to stab Allison a heart. And once her rage is spent, she sobs over the corpse of her friend, only to reveal Allison managed to grab the book, the fan fiction
I like you
book.
better as a writer.
The thick-ass fan fiction book, which took the stab, sparing her from getting impaled through the heart. Oh, I love it. It's great. Allison gives Co her shattered glasses back. Co chews her out for being a dumbass. Allison apologizes again, and then we get the kiss! They don't call it the Vault of Yuri for nothing! Let's go!
Yeah, they kiss, I guess.
Yeah, it's sort of interesting. I'm going to have more to say about this later, but this really does kind of feel almost like Allison is just playing out an anime trope here. Because, like, they reminded us that, like, she's aware of this sort of thing. She seems like, like she's delusional from blood loss. She's not really, like, thinking about what she's doing here. And, like, whilst Co has a pretty serious reaction to this, Allison doesn't.
Yeah, Allison, delirious from blood loss and head trauma, goes, hold up, wait, I don't really know you, and, like, you tried to kill me, and we're kind of trapped here, and I'm not, what was that? No, wait, no, don't apologize. We'll
I
talk
just
about
need
it.
to take a dirt nap now.
We'll talk about it later. She passes out, which is great. I love this. We get the kiss, and we also get, like, the characters being like, man, heat of the passion moment. We need to unpack this later. Unfortunately, I am far too wounded to unpack it right now.
And the head of Mammon's priests wants to finish what she was about to start, but Mammon's like, it's fine. They're just wacky weirdos.
Let him go.
I'm cool with them.
But my God, yeah, whatever. We got to get back to the count. Okay, and you have until he stops counting to get out of here. But wait, what about that kid that we came here for? The human boy about her age? Oh, yeah, we sold him off already. You what? Yeah, we sold him off. He was too much of a example of the violence of the outside world. We're trying to I really like this about the priests of the count, because they all pity Mammon. They see this senile old man dragon and they feel bad for him. So they go to, like, help him. But they play to the senility. They try to turn his face away from
the horrors of the world he's created for himself.
Yeah. And you could argue that that's mercy. You could also argue that it's kind of cruel to let him continue to exist at the edge of, the horror of guilt.
Because, I mean, he certainly is totally fine with dying.
Yeah, he's said it several times.
Yeah, the problem is they can't kill him.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe Pre-001 could with that big ass axe of hers.
Nah,
The fire halberd.
not good enough.
But like the other thing is, whilst this world inside the vault is a peaceful world, it is also worth noting that he is one of the kings who created the hellscape outside as well. So it's like it's not like his hands or paws or claws or whatever you want to call them are squeaky clean either, and they're kind of just pretending that's not a thing. Like
Yeah.
they're sort of letting him get away with his senility as its own punishment, which is loaded to say the least.
Mm-hmm. Listen. I'm not saying this hits particularly hard living in a capitalist gerontocracy, but
God damn it. I was trying to avoid this.
But he's just a funny guy who plays Minecraft with his two friends.
Yeah, he's got his own SMP with his buddies Joe and Donnie and Barry.
He's the fourth member. He makes it a quartet. God, that's a dated reference for now.
Yeah, it is.
I guess we're going senile.
It was going to happen eventually.
If only.
But it is here where
It's a good thing nothing else is going to happen. We now can just leave and nothing bad will happen.
Indeed. And for the astute readers among you in the audience, because you should have done the reading, you might have noticed earlier we kind of skipped over a scene that happened outside the vault. The tea time between White Chains and Naive. We just kind of said that it happened, didn't go too deeply into it. Well, White Chain saw another angel doing a shakedown on a mortal, beat the crap out of them, was about to kill them, didn't, because Naive was like, you gotta show mercy.
Because character
development. White Chain, I really like the detail that White Chain doesn't do the prayer of forgiveness for violence until afterwards.
Because that was just a reaction. He wasn't thinking of, or they weren't thinking about it.
Exactly. And White Chain has the whole character development moment of saying the prayer of forgiveness afterwards, and we've got this moment of okay, cool character development, and then that ends with White Chain looking in the distance, expression of horror as something massive appears on the horizon. What could that massive thing be? Oh shit, it's an entire city crashing through the.
I'm sure it's fine.
You guys remember Modem?
Vaguely.
Mammon, you great overgrown lizard, where is she?
Modem has brought her entire floating city and crashed it through the side of the Bank of Mammon because she wants Allison Ruth's head on a pike, goddammit!
I love how Mammon is just like not interested in this at all. And it's really just the first priest who's doing the fighting here. As Mammon's like, "Aw, guys."
Mammon recognizes Modem and he's like, "My word, Nadia, what are you doing? This is absolutely ridiculous. We were friends once, weren't we? Surely we can talk about this." As she is going full like DBZ villain rising from the smoke and flash stepping towards him.
Very rude.
Very rude. Extremely violent. And the head priest of the count draws her sword, cuts off her robe to reveal the weird dominatrix outfit she's got.
There we go.
It's quite something. Her outfit is entirely belts and needles.
And quad spiky nipples.
Yeah, lots of spice on them nips.
Chastity belt.
Pity the dragon, venerate the count. Yeah.
I don't think I want to join this cult anymore.
I think I do. But yeah, as chaos and violence begins to break out, our heroes need to make a run for it because Allison is currently incapacitated.
MacGuffin isn't here.
MacGuffin isn't here. Sio's like, all right, how the hell do we get out? That thankfully the rest of our friends show up.
There is a giant hole in the side of the infinite vault because another infinite crashed into it.
Exactly. I'm sure breaking apart this fractal dimensions within dimensions won't cause any problems. But the rest of the heist team shows up and reinforces our hero. And they see, all right, cool, massive war is happening. There's a huge rent in the vault there. That's our egress point. Go, go, go!
Excellent distraction. Pick up beer money on the floor and just run.
And also, just in case you forgot about them, the pursuers are here too. Big Gold Baby and the rest of those weirdos from the noodle shop who are trying to chase down Allison and rip the key out of her forehead have arrived to cause more chaos. Also, Auntie Maya is here.
I'm sure she'll be relevant eventually.
Oh, you have no idea. The liturgy on the page that's showing them about to roll up on the vault is a hint to her backstory, which I only have context for at my current point in the reading.
Interesting.
Yes, that's 10122 for Seeker of Thrones, for those of you who want to go back and read it and be like, oh, that makes so much sense now.
I love Oscar's reaction to all this of just, we should go.
We're leaving. We have the splash page of all time.
The fact that on the website this stalled to load for me like midway through and I'm like, oh no, this is gonna take too long to read and there's no text.
There were Velociraptor cavalry.
There's Velociraptor cavalry, dude. Seeker of Thrones 130 through 103, The Siege of Uray. God, I love this comic so much. It is an unnecessary level of detail put into this.
That's K6PD's selling feature.
Yep. It is one of my favorite pages of all time. And it is a textless splash page of violence.
I see why you like it.
So, that handy skyship stolen from Modem's palace flies in chaos. Naive and White Chain are here to save the day. White Chain saves the crew from the priest of the count, declares that they are never, ever letting Allison and Sio out of their sight ever again. If this is what happens when I leave you two alone, by the god called Yisun. Listen, I'm fine. You two are okay. We just need to leave right now. What's that, Angel? You were worried about us? Oh, please arrest me. I've been such a naughty girl.
They're stealing the ship.
Yes, the other devils are stealing the ship.
Because of course they are.
Of course they are. Backstabbing was expected from the start. And many of them are killed by Oscar, who happened to be packing a rifle with high caliber silver rounds. Me duckies, a sound investment. I don't know where he got that captain's hat that also says bad man. Maybe he just pulled that. Maybe he just had that on.
Oh yeah, no, he was planning this from the beginning.
Oscar, you foul blackguard! Give me my boat back! Sio. Yes, so very good. I didn't expect this job to go well at all. Thank you for the spare beer money. I was just hoping to draw your laugh back out from the depths of your heart. Well, too bad. I learned love and friendship and stuff.
That's boring.
I'm going to shoot you now. But the one thing he didn't expect is it Naive climbing out of the captain's quarters to drop kick him in the back? Is it Sio kneeing him in the face? No, it was the fact that Lucky Felicia lived up to her name and is alive, baby!
Nothing bad happens to her.
Nothing.
Don't worry about the arm.
She is missing an arm and completely coated in blood, but she is alive.
I mean, Jacob, that's really just on you for thinking that missing an arm is some kind of disability. Check your privilege, man.
Yeah, she steals Oscar's gun and blasts him with it.
Rips a
Theo makes a
whole
point of pulling the cat master of cats cat out of the way. You got to say the whole thing.
So with Oscar defeated and the mutineers gone, the crew sails away just in time because, hey, breaking the fractal infinite vault was in fact a bad idea, as the entire bank of Mammon splits in half and pours an infinite amount of gold to wash over the city in a cascade of metal and coins.
It's fine.
Definitely not at all a problem. It's totally cool as it completely shatters in a mushroom cloud of violence, and Mammon is left sitting atop the mound of gold and rubble, screaming his fury into the heavens.
Poor Dragon.
Poor Dragon. He's got all
You
those
probably
keys.
deserve this, but poor Dragon.
Yeah, I feel bad for him. And as we must do after every major adventure, Allison wakes up half dead on the bed
From
in
her
the
most
ship.
recent coma.
Yes, her most recent coma. We learn the fallout of what happened from CO. They are hiding at the outskirts of the Red City. Felicia fleeced them for all that they're worth. And
Fair,
well,
they charged her an arm and a leg.
and while they did defeat the devils that had mutinied them, 2 of the bodies were never found. So Karen and the Cat Master made it out.
Yay, cat master of cats.
And the cat was fine too.
Petting the kitty, and the kitty's doing a good stretch.
Oh, doing a very good stretch. Very good cat. And I love this here. Allison is moping about the fact that Zayd wasn't even there. All of this was for nothing. At which point CEO goes, "You didn't hear the part I said. We started a war because you're horny for some guy."
I love this dialogue between them.
It's great.
Because she's literally essentially just going like, "Oh, calm the fuck down. You're just mad because I won't fuck you." Also, let's talk about that kiss. Look, I was high on endorphins. I don't really like women, so I'm not really sure what you thought was going on here. But, you know. And then Sio's just like, hold up, girl. You don't know how good I am. You think I'm pining after you. That may be true, but I'm the best you can do. And then you flip the page. They're in a different scene. You got Allison going like, yo, hold up. You know when I said I didn't like girls earlier? Maybe I was being too hasty. We should go on a date. Sio's just like, nah, I don't date. I fuck. And Allison's just like, hold on. I mean, we don't even know each other. Nah, girl. I'm not playing with this. We fuck, and I'll teach you some shit. But that's all that's going to happen. And Allison's just like, no. Flip page. But yes. Maybe. That sounds really cool. I would like to casually sometime. And I'm just reading this going like, what the fuck is this comic?
It's beautiful is what it is.
The thing I like about this is Matt speed ran that assessment because there's other elements and other scenes and stuff interspersed with all this. The thing I really like is CO's immediate reaction to when Allison's like, look, I don't even like women. It was just an adrenaline thing, which in all honesty, I kind of buy because that is like the reaction that she had in the moment. Like it really does feel like she was playing out an anime trope just because that was something that she knew. But CO's immediate thought process is, oh, you're following my evil self advice. You did that just to get me to pull you out.
Mm-hmm.
Which isn't true because Allison isn't that duplicitous.
She can't think that far ahead. She can barely think 2 seconds into the future. The entire premise of this comic is what if the protagonist made the wrong decision literally every time? Ugh.
And then White Chain shows up and just is like, am I interrupting something? Anyway, let me tell you my backstory so we can get to know each other better. No.
Yeah. I love this because White Chain's got like an entire costume change going on here. Got this really cool like toga thing going on. Has the top part of their helmet removed so that their hair is this billowing storm cloud of eyes. And it's like, all right, guess I'm stuck with you losers for while now because I can't let you continue to just recklessly fling yourself into danger against the gods of this world. Why was I letting you get away with that? We are going to go on a training arc. Allison, you are going to learn martial arts. We are going to wax on, wax off, and I don't care how long it takes. At which part Allison goes, yeah, okay, training arc's probably a good idea.
See, she can make correct decisions. Rarely.
Rarely. Anyway, we're going to be hanging out for a while, so we should get to know each other. I was beginning of time by the god called Un. Anyway, Allison, tell us about your world.
I'm from Los Angeles.
Yeah, she describes Los Angeles, and White Change's reaction is, Jesus Christ, how horrifying.
She describes Los Angeles in the way everyone from Los Angeles describes Los Angeles. It kind of sucks, but I live there. Also, the food's pretty good.
My family's there, the beach is there, it's got good food. I could cook it sometime. You can cook? Yeah, I can cook.
The climate is literally the perfect just temperature for human beings, but too many other people.
So many other people.
But so many good taco trucks. Like a ridiculous number of good taco trucks. It's insane.
And thus brings us to the end of book 3, Seeker of Thrones. Oh, God, I fucking love this comic. So, favorite character and favorite fight. I can't lie, I really love Allison in this. This is really the part where I love her following her villain arc. Her just going like, no, fuck it. I'm sick of being a victim. I'm sick of getting dragged around by plot points bigger than me. I'm going to make decisions, damn it. Oh, I made all the wrong decisions. Shit.
Not even necessarily all the wrong decisions, but all the violent decisions.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, not for nothing, there are some people in her party that she very justifiably could have betrayed.
Mm-hmm. And then she sort of doubles down. She's like, I'm going to continue to make decisions, but I'm going to try to be better about it. Will I succeed? Probably not, but I will try. And I love that.
That's all you can really ask for.
Indeed. And favorite fight? As much as I love the Siege of your big, glorious splash page, it's not really a fight per se. It's the battle in the Prison of Air, the invisible hallways. Allison activates the Sandevistan. It becomes a big, gory, like, Tesseract heart. I love it. It is so over the top. Jake, how about you?
Favorite character easily has to be Mammon. I love the depiction of greed that he is. He's a unique depiction of greed, and that immediately draws attention to him. Plus, he's just fun. Like, I want to give him head pats.
Is good Durgan.
Is good Doggo Durgan. How could I pick any other character besides him? Favorite fight? In all honesty, because Kill 6 Billion Demons is so like dense, I tend not to like super gravitate towards the fights. I think I will go with the Siege of Uray because Raptor Cavalry, like, come on. But it's really more the characters I come to K6BD for rather than the fights.
It is hard to fight with Raptor Cavalry. Matt, how about you?
Favorite character, I think I'll go with Power Allison, followed shortly by Zos going like, what the fuck? He was pretty good in this. And then favorite fight is going to be Allison just soloing the dungeon.
Hell yeah. All right. So, thoughts on the plot, themes, is it easier to follow than the info dump of book 1?
I will say, to some degree, I kind of hope I'm not reading it too shallow because of the nature of our podcast, because it felt really, really straightforward. The thing I really liked, like going from book 1 to book 2 did a good job of justifying why book 1 was so dense. Like, it wasn't just front loading the lore so you didn't have people who weren't into that sort of thing getting tricked into something they ultimately wouldn't like. That was a metacontextual reason, but book 2 actually does a good job of using the theme set up in book 1 to like tie that element of it into the rest of the story. And it doesn't feel as interwoven. It kind of felt like a heist movie, and that's cool, but I do wonder if I'm missing something here. because I really liked the nature of cycles and wheels and the way that that ended up being an important element in book two.
Mhm.
Maybe splitting it in half wasn't the best idea, but nature of our podcast.
Yeah, doing this entire thing in one episode would have been a bit much. But yeah, I really like how this establishes, in particular, Allison's relationship to the themes of power and what power does to people, because this is her at her lowest in terms of like
Morality.
in terms of morality. She is just reveling in being the main character with the main character's power, and it's great. It's an entertaining read. It's also demonstrably not good for her. Yeah, it causes her to betray her allies, which, she is already not about, and then it almost gets her killed in revenge from Co. It also forces her to acknowledge, okay, there is a part of me that is completely fine with this. And that is a part of me that I need to live with because I can't just excise it.
I like the fact that she has to embrace that part of herself because it is necessary. That she
Mhm.
doesn't like defeat the evil murderess. She makes her a more healthy, smaller part of herself.
Yes. Uh, which is it, as with a lot of things in this comic, it's very messy and therefore it is very human. It is, as much as everything in this is exaggerated, it doesn't shy away from the complexities of emotion and self. You soon split themselves 777,777 times. The great god called I is a many faceted being.
Indeed.
So would you continue reading? Yeah, I need to catch up. Some happened in book 6 that I'm unaware of the actual context of. I've just seen thumbnails on Twitter and been like, that looks like some shit. I need to know what it is. And then I didn't read it because I'm a busy man. Gotta catch up. How about you, Jake?
God, I wish I had the time to pour over this properly. I do love this a lot. Sort of funny. It's not really the art that draws me. It really is the character drama.
Mhm.
I always favor characters above all things, and boy, does this have a lot of characters and a lot of like unique takes on characters and character archetypes. So I definitely want to continue reading, but God, it's so dense.
It
And
is
our
hard.
reading schedule. Ah,
Indeed. How about you, Matt?
I'm gonna be honest, probably not. I Splitting this in half was one thing, but like that meant we got the action section on its own, and
Mhm.
like it's pretty art. Like I don't know. I felt like I was on a roller coaster that just kept taking me by cool things that never really had time to breathe.
Mm.
And I'm like, I kind of just ended up not caring. By the middle part, I like the part at the end where it's just two people having a sassy conversation, and I liked the idea of Mammon, but like it was just from beat to beat to beat in such a way that I kind of never really got time to hold on to anything. So, it was neat.
That's fair.
I think that's been generally the podcast's opinion on K6BD up to this point.
Indeed. But yeah, thank you everybody once again for tuning into the Over Manga Cast. As always, you can find us on all your social media. We are at Over Manga Cast.
You can also find us on YouTube where you can like, comment, and subscribe. The episodes go up on a 2-week delay, so if you want to head over to overmangacast.com, that has all of our up-to-date episodes, and it even has a place where you can comment, give us suggestions. What are some other things that Sam can torture us for a proper equivalent exchange?
And as always, we appreciate reviews in any and all form. Go ahead, reach out over MangaCast, wherever you can find us. I don't even know where we are anymore, but you can reach us at overmangacast@gmail.com or overmangacast.com. Great places. We love recommendations, we love reviews, and we love theme months, I guess, because we keep doing them. And Sam, what is that on the horizon? Is that the skeleton parade coming to town?
It is.
What day? Young boy in the street. What day is today?
Why, sir, it's the such and such day of September. We're getting very close to October.
That's dumb. It's the 1st of Hallows Eve month. Shut up, young boy. You deserve to be poor. Go get yourself
no.
some candy.
Oh no,
Oh.
I must go trick or treat to drown my sorrow.
Oh no, I've absorbed Sam into the bit, which means, hey, Jacob, what are we reading next week?
We are reading the comic, which apparently is by Kazuki Takahashi, a favorite author of mine. So that's cool.
So we'll be reading that entire thing next week. If you're keeping up with that, be sure to read that by next Thursday, and we'll see you all then. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Oh man, I'm feeling a little under the weather. I'm thinking about seeing a specialist. Can't pronounce this. Pretty sure they're like a friend of the pod or something. I'm pretty sure we've seen this before.
Yeah, that's the problem when I get sick. Jake gets sick too.
Because of all the tongue kissing.
Exactly.
Wait a minute.